Plenty of well-known professional athletes have gone into politics following their playing careers. This includes Jesse Ventura, Lynn Swann, Steve Largent, Kevin Johnson, Dave Bing, Jim Bunning, and Walter Johnson. What we haven't had, however, is a professional NFL player later become the President of the United States. Whether or not any active NFL players are actually considering it is anybody's guess, but we think these 10 guys would make a great POTUS. Number 10. Rob Gronkowski. Ronald Reagan was a well-known movie star before he entered politics. Donald Trump was a reality TV star and a world-famous businessman before he became the President of the United States. So, who's to say that another celebrity can't eventually enter the White House if they so desire? Rob Gronkowski certainly has the entertaining personality to make a run for the presidency seat when his football career ends. Laugh all you want, but don't forget how many people initially laughed at the Reagan and Trump campaigns, only to realize that they were dead serious about it. With a humble and lovable attitude, Gronk would actually make a great president. Which world leader wouldn't want to be friends with him? And seeing how the guy performs under pressure in the NFL playoffs, as evidenced by those Super Bowl rings, you'd have to think that he'd have the toughness and determination to handle the stressful responsibilities of being president. Not to mention that he's made more than enough money to start his own campaign. You don't think the New England Patriots or Tampa Bay Buccaneers wouldn't donate to his cause either? And how about picking somebody like Tom Brady to be your running mate? Just something to think about, Gronk. Number 9. George Kittle. If not Gronkowski, how about Kittle as the first ever NFL tight end turned president? Like Gronkowski, Kittle has one of the most humbling and humorous personalities in football. This guy is full of charisma, and that obviously goes a long way in politics. Get up to the podium, make a passionate and energetic speech, and the people will love you. Kittle is still young and only entering the prime years of his NFL career. He doesn't have all the off-the-field business expenditures and such yet, so we don't know how Kittle would fare as the POTUS in that regard. But again, this guy has the perfect personality to be the president. And seeing how he doesn't let defensive players push him around or bring him down, you'd have to think he'd display that same toughness in the presidential office. So when your football career ends, Mr. Kittle, feel free to consider running for the presidency. You have our vote. Number 8. Von Miller. The Denver Broncos Pro Bowl linebacker and future Hall of Famer certainly has some of the qualities that would make him a compelling candidate to run in a future presidential election. Miller, one of the most dominant and electrifying pass rushers in history, has done a lot of work off the field that could prepare him for a future in politics, if he ever decides to go that way after his football career. When he's not striking fear into the hearts of quarterbacks and offensive coordinators, Miller is occupied running his own chicken farm in Texas. The Super Bowl 50 champion and MVP graduated from Texas A&M with a degree in poultry sciences after all. So there is some business and economical background there. And if he can keep a bunch of chickens under control, who's to say he can't do the same with 328 million humans? Miller is also one of the game's more active philanthropists. He runs the Vaughn's Vision Foundation, which provides proper eye care and eyewear for children in need in the Denver area. So, he has the selflessness and generosity to devote his time to the people who need it, as any president should. Number 7. Patrick Mahomes. It's gonna be a long time until Mahomes decides on his post-playing career. The man is on top of the football world right now, and he just signed a record-breaking 10-year contract extension worth $503 million. And if it all goes according to plan, Mahomes will sign another lucrative deal when that one expires. Many of the NFL's top quarterbacks tend to be a little quieter and private with their personal lives, but Mahomes is full of personality and charisma, just like Kittle. This guy really has swagger to the point that he should consider politics. And Mahomes has made the impossible possible many times. Left-handed throws, thrown across his body for completions on fourth downs, the constant fourth comebacks, the usual. If he can do all the never-before-seen stuff on the field, maybe he'd do never-before-seen stuff as president, from business and economic standpoints. Anywho, a possible Mahomes presidential campaign is at least like 20 years away, so don't get excited about it just yet. But this man has to at least think about it when he hangs up his cleats. Number 6. Tom Brady. TB12 is the most accomplished NFL player of all time, and he's an ultra-polarizing athlete. So just consider the entertainment factor if this guy were to run for president. He's arguably the most beloved player in football right now, and perhaps the most disliked as well. Now, Brady has already ruled out a future in politics, but after seeing his longtime friend Donald Trump enter the White House, perhaps Brady may have a change of heart down the road. Brady won't admit it, but he's actually pretty well suited and somewhat prepared for a presidential campaign if he wants to do it. Not only has he been doing plenty of kind charitable works off the field for many years, but Brady has also expanded his business empire. So we think he'd have some background in managing the nation's economy. Kind of. And seeing the success he's had with the whole TB12 method, one has to think Brady might have some interesting ideas for the nation's healthcare plan. He could at least put together some healthy dietary and exercise programs to help the country in that capacity. Laugh all you want, but Brady actually has plenty of the requirements to be a president checked off. And don't worry about his ability to perform under pressure as a politician. He has ice water in his veins. We think he'd manage the stress just fine. Number 5. Aaron Donald. It's not a stretch to say that Donald is the most dominant defensive player since Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor. Among current defenders, he's certainly in a class of his own right now, having won the DPOY award in 2017 and 2018. So why do we think the perennial Pro Bowler and All-Pro might be a good president? It has less to do with who Aaron Donald is off the field and a lot more to do with his on-the-field play. Donald is a wrecking ball on the field. He bulldozes his way through double teams all the time. If this guy were president, he would easily be the most intimidating president ever. And having a leader like that can sometimes be a good thing. Not only could he intimidate other nations into favorable deals with the US, but he'd also be the type of guy who could easily restore order among civilians during chaotic times. And hey, he has a degree in communications, so the man could easily apply that to a political career. Number 4. Russell Wilson. Could he follow the footsteps of fellow Seahawks legend Steve Largent and enter a career in politics? I mean, why not? Wilson is one of the NFL's ultimate good guys. The Super Bowl 48 winning quarterback is as classy and humble as they get. He's one of those guys that's simply impossible to hate. Admit it, 49ers fans. Even you can't hate this guy. Wilson is one of the NFL's most proactive off-the-field philanthropists. He visits the Seattle Children's Hospital on a weekly basis, runs his own football camp, and founded the Why Not You Foundation. With all the work he does outside of football, it's safe to say that Wilson would make a great US president. The selflessness, drive, and unbelievable work ethic are all there. Number 3. J.J. Watt. Much like Wilson, Watt is one of those super charismatic and cheerful NFLers that nobody can hate. And like Wilson, Watt is an absolute workhorse as far as charity and philanthropy go. The 3-time Defensive Player of the Year has gone out of his way to help those in need. He befriended 3 children who tragically lost their parents in a car accident in Colorado Springs, spending ample time with them as they tried to cope with the horrific events. Watt also dressed up as Batman at the Texas Children's Hospital back in 2015, and he sure looked good in the bat suit. After Hurricane Harvey, Watt helped raise more than $37 million. That helped rebuild more than 1,100 homes and have fed more than 239 million meals to those affected by the tragedy. His incredible determination to positively impact as many lives as possible is constantly on display. Yes, some of these entries on the list are just for fun, but with his generosity and kindness, Watt could legitimately make a great politician. He would stand tough, be assertive, and follow his agenda to build a better America. Number 2. Richard Sherman. The former Seattle Seahawks and current 49ers All-Pro checks off so many boxes when it comes to envisioning an athlete turned president. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that this man has a great way with words. His confidence and energy is truly admirable. And you've seen him engage in epic trash talk with the likes of Michael Crabtree and Darrell Revis.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're gonna get.
Now, imagine Sherman trash talking in presidential debates. That would be a sight to behold. Of course, Sherman's personality and his savvy way with words isn't the only reason why you should consider a presidential run. This man is very highly educated, graduating from high school with a 4.2 GPA. He also graduated from Stanford with a communications degree. So yes, we think Sherman has more than enough education on his resume to serve as the president of the United States. Not to mention that, like most others on this list, Sherman has done so many kind-hearted things off the field. He founded the Richard Sherman Family Foundation, which helped provide necessities for children in need. And in 2019, Sherman donated more than $7,400 to cover the lunch debts for students at the Cabrillo Middle School in Santa Clara. You don't have to like Richard Sherman the football player, but you gotta respect Richard Sherman the person. With everything he does from a charitable standpoint, it's not crazy to say that he would make a great president. Number 1. Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not the biggest NFL star by any means, but if education especially matters to you when it comes to voting for your next president, then Fitz is your guy. Fitzpatrick graduated from Harvard and scored a 48 out of 50 on the Wonderlic test. A degree in economics from Harvard? Yeah, he obviously knows his stuff. Hey, maybe Fitzpatrick's background in economics is all he really needs to succeed as a president. The economy is all that matters to many voters out there after all. And Fitzpatrick also has a very likable personality, so that alone could go a long way in helping him secure some votes. And then there's that facial hair. Who wouldn't want a president that can grow a beard like Fitzmagic? It'd be like having a modern-day Abe Lincoln in office. Between the brains, the beard, and the bubbly personality, Fitzpatrick is easily the NFL's best presidential candidate right now. What other NFL players would make a great US president? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.